Alright, just as an FYI, this is not a how-to portion of this video. This is kind of what I've learned. This is kind of what I've been doing. But this is not a how-to video. Alright, so what I got down here is a 1500 watt toaster oven. Right now it has my heat treat things I clamp to the knives to help me heat treat these things, and so I've got that in there. I can't use this because it's right now I don't have enough power. Of course, y'all can see the jumbled up power mess I got going on here. For right now, I can't use that consistently to do the heat treat on knives, or I'd do everything out here 100%, but for the sake of this, you can probably notice the lights dimmed down in the shop. This is kind of what I'm doing. I'm working on the power. Of course, y'all can see the electrical boxes. I'm working on the power right now. I gotta get it wired. I've got all the wire and all the stuff to do it with, but that's a whole nother video on all in itself. So but right now I am working on I made this kind of express a while back. It works. I got a kneeling pad from Walmart, and as y'all can see, I've been doing some practicing with a different knife that I showed. I'm going to try to replicate with this, with Andrew's knife right here. I'm going to try to get a good press on this one, and that way I had to press the other one again because it didn't sit in here quite right the first time, and I didn't realize it, and I went ahead and drilled the holes and put my eyelets in and realized that I had messed up, and so that's why I've kind of got these in there, those holes in there. I don't know if y'all can tell that or not. That's why it's got eyelet holes in it. That was not intended. I'm going to be using this 040, I believe it's 040, Kydex, and that way Andrew had found another video online of it being covered with leather, so I'm going to try to cover this with leather after I form it, cut it, and do all the things to it, so that way, you know, we have something of a leather Kydex-y type style sheath. Of course, you know, it is what it is. I'm gonna go on this as a rule of thumb. The other knife I done sideways this way. This knife, I believe I'm going to be able to do this way and get by with cutting just a straight line here and still have enough on the outside edges once I do the taco style, to have enough. If I don't, I've still got this whole section right here, and like I said, I think he's gonna want a C-clip of sorts on this. I think my knife and everything is over here. Here's my ruler. Everything I needed was right there. Okay. Now this stuff being Kydex is usually semi easy to break. I must have not got it scored to get enough. Oh Lord, help me Lord. Man, there we go. It broke that time. So I'm not real too concerned with the edges. Of course, we have this nice square edge right here. To go on, it didn't need to be that deep, so probably here to there. Be pretty good. So you don't want to heat this really hot, and I would tell you it's like 375 down there, but that may or may not be accurate. I don't know. I'll tell you one thing that has helped me is these. These have worked awesomely well. They're the squeeze style clamps. Probably never believe where I bought these at. Probably tell me that I was crazy for buying them, but I bought those at the Dollar Tree, believe it or not. And I did give a little more for them. I give $3 for these, and so far they have worked wonders. I did take the feet off because I don't need them feet for what I'm doing here, but that is an option if I really want to. Now my things won't fit under here, so I'm going to take this piece of wood right here, I'll stick under here just to elevate it to where I can get my clamps to squeeze. And so I'm going to go ahead and heat this a little bit. You know, for a little oven, that little oven does pretty good. It's generally pretty hot. But I am kind of scared of heat treating knives in that because, like I said, I don't have the greatest power out here. And if y'all know anything about power, if you don't have enough power, it tends to not put out the potential that it needs to run things. Like I've got two lights in here, two LED lights. One's over here, one's up here. And this cutting on is dim these down. And you can hear it clicking on and off. This don't take very long to heat where it's thin, but I do want to get it pretty hot. I probably do need to try to get some 2 layers of painter's tape on that really quick. There's two. Now the next one won't be as thick. Won't be as long. This just provides a layer of protection for the knife itself and for the now y'all can see how pliable this stuff is once it's hot. So I'm not going to be able to do it right this second because I've got a little more tape to clean off of here. So now, as y'all can see, it's still quite rubbery, but it's starting to take a little bit of form right there. I'm gonna stick her back in here for a couple of minutes. And that way, she comes out, she'll be piping hot and ready. Kind of like a little Caesar's pizza. Give her a good bit of time that time. Making a mess, Now, I usually take, I think it won't take me small fit on there. I've got too many things going on at one time right here. So I'm gonna let that thing cool down for about 10 minutes and we'll come back. Alright guys, so this here is kind of what I'm looking at. Got a pretty good. Alright. So after the print, that's kind of what I'm looking at. You can kind of see the imprint of that thing. It comes out pretty easy. Being right here, it won't come out too easy. I'm gonna try to get this thing trimmed down and see how well it actually works. See how well it works. Alright, so I have to adjust for 1/4 inch eyelets. So we'll go we'll start out at 1/4 inch or a 1/2 inch out. Alright. So we'll start there, work our way out. Alright, so I got my bare bandsaw. It's a little one. Works pretty good though. I'm taking a knife out of the sheath. Kind of what we left with. So it's kind of what it looks like. I know I got some of this to work with. You know, kind of see that a little bit better now. It printed on both sides pretty good. Printed back here pretty good. That's kind of what we're working with here now. I think it'll be all right. For now, I usually and the good thing about this, the way these are, you crimp them up. They've got kind of a place there to drain. That was I trimmed this down just to give myself enough space. I will come back in and trim this in a circle, trim this up a little bit better with the grinder. Once I get my holes drilled and everything, that's kind of the next step. Making a mess and drilling some holes. Now that I'm done with this, that didn't take very long. That's actually a little bit better than doing it the hard way, which is leather work. And if I get more into this Kydex, I'm going to do some more of these, or some of these in Kydex. Hopefully they'll come out just as good as this, I hope. And I hope this comes out, because this is going to be a really cool piece. It is kind of in there a little shallower than I had anticipated. but I don't think it's going to need much trimming once we get it once I get it where I want it. I don't think it's going to take much trimming nearly at all to get it where I want it to be. Alright, so got F-bit installed here. It is pretty sharp. It's a pretty new drill bit. Got some stuff coming down the pike if y'all are interested. Got a couple of file farm boys and a couple of file sharp fingers coming. These gonna be some fat boys. They're 1/4 inch, probably almost 3/16, or probably almost 5/16 rather. And this one is probably 3/16, and that one's either 1/4 or 5/16. So, and also, I've started grinding on this one. It is a Tonto-ish blade. It's not really a Tonto because I'm not gonna worry about taking the time to separate the Tonto. It's just gonna be what it is. Some of y'all might be sad by that, but that's probably what I'm gonna have time to do. I'm gonna take this thing out, so I need to get so Mr. Andrew has opted for a C-clip, a cold steel C-clip, and so yeah, that's what I'm going to base my hole patterns on for these holes. I'm going to work on something special on this one though, that's going to require maybe a little bit more energy, sort of say. So now I'm going to just start off by semi-marking the center of these. Kind of all the way down through here. Right to the very end, and then I'm going to pick back up. I don't need that one. So I got those two. And then I'm going to start right here. And that's going to work out wonderfully. So something like that, and that way he can carry it wherever he wants to. Here, there, there. On this side, upside down. This side, right side up. That side, it's not going to matter. And you could also do these, you could do this side that way, and back here's got, some places. So it's going to be possible to go anywhere with a C-clip like that. And it's got an assortment of nuts or screws and Chicago screws and washers, so it'll come with all that kind of stuff as well. So I'm gonna go ahead and say I messed up because I wanted to put this piece of 2x4 in there. That's why I had it there before, and that way this will be on here flat when I go to make my holes, where I'm going to make my holes. Well, y'all, I thought that was a sharp F bit. Yeah, let me try a different one then. So I got me one of them drill doctors the other day, and y'all can see the edge of that thing cut on there. So we're gonna try a drill doctor a real bit. Depending on how this thing cuts will tell me whether or not I'm gonna recommend it or not. It does feel sharp, but we shall see. That might have been sharp after all. I just had a brain fart moment here. I don't know, sometimes them bolts get loose and let it go down. I thought, man, that thing should be cutting better than that. And that's probably is a good drill bit. Oh yeah, that drill doctor works pretty good. Alright, so y'all are wondering probably why I put so many holes in there. You know, because you can carry it this way. You can carry it this way. You can carry it this way. You can carry it that way, even if you wanted to. So it's just a multitude of carry options that, you can carry it sideways, forward, backwards, whatever way. So I'm going to clean this up just a little bit on the grinder here, and we'll show you what it looks like. So would that look better already? Let me get out of the light here. It looks pretty doggone good, don't it? Alright. So, we've got this little hole reamer thing here. It works pretty good for reaming holes. The plastic out of these. Just real light. So that looks pretty good. I think them holes are going to work out perfect. So that's going to be about it that I can do for now, because like I said, we're going to try to cover this in leather, and I'm going to leave this down here and this up here until last, to get the kind of the thumb release out of here pretty good. And I'm going to take this in and wash it out real quick though, and that way it can dry. But I'm going to have to get some glue, so that'll be a later video, a little bit later of a thing. So, but yeah, don't forget to take your tape off. This tape has a little bit of moisture in it, and you have to take it off. You can reapply it if you need to, but you need to take it off. You can't leave it on there.